What's going on, crew? Um, just here to expose my lineups for the Sunday for the next 3 nights. I'm gonna be real busy working and whatnot, so I'm not gonna be able to spend a lot of time online. So came on here to do it real quick. Now, initially, I wanted to do a whole slate breakdown, but um, but I'm a basketball dude. You know, last week I found success with football, and I'm getting the hang of it. I've been doing football season long fantasy, and I've been hit and miss with this Draftking thing, but I've been finding some consistency, and I think I got it. I think I'm gonna take down a tournament this weekend, so I'm here to share the knowledge, share some insight with you guys. I know you guys watch other videos and put it all together and come up with your own fire. That's always the goal. You know what I mean? So Richie Turner, Tory J, always a good time chopping it up with you guys. Nikita says a lot of disappointed players in week one. Yes, I had Le'Veon Bell and I still was in the money last week. So that's what made me feel even more confident because I feel like every player I put on my roster has an opportunity to make it happen for me. So let's get right to it. So these are 3 lineups. At the end of when it comes down to it, I'm only going to play 2. This one here is my go-to. This is the one I spent a lot of time putting together. This is the one that I'm more confident about. Play this one with confidence, guys. All right. This is my number one lineup. Not touching it. I haven't touched it since I made it. These 2 I'm going to condense into one lineup. All right. This one here is a more, and I'm going to get into each one in details, but just to give you a kind of a summary, this one is more of a stars and scrubs approach. You see, I throw some Antonio Brown. I love Antonio Brown in fantasy. I feel like he just can't do no wrong. On a bad day, you'll get me. On a bad day for him is a good day for most guys. And similar to Le'Veon Bell, I feel like if he gets me low teens, mid teens, and I still got fire around him, I could still do good. So Antonio Brown with some Julio Jones. Julio Jones against Packers they're playing is a matchup that I'm in love with. Packers Falcons going to be a high scoring game, and I feel like it's going to be back and forth. And Green Bay don't have the tools back in the backfield to really slow down a guy like Julio Jones, and that's the number one go-to player. I feel like he's going to have a big game. So this is Stars and Scrub. This Cooper Cup guy, man, I've been following him for not a very long time, but I just like the relationship with him and his quarterback. They're both young. And he's like the number 2 guy. So when defense concentrate on the number 1 guy on the team on the other side of the court, I feel like he's talented enough to take advantage of that. We saw that week 1. He got so many touches. He got a good rapport with that other young quarterback that they got down there. And I feel like Cooper Cup, I actually went and got him on the waivers in my season long. I invested a lot of money trying to get Cooper Cup on my team. I just got this weird vision that he's going to be the person. So this is my lineup that I'm leaning more towards. But then this one just seems a little bit intriguing as well. So I'm going to go through each player and why I like them, why I don't like them. And we're going to do it like that. All right. Let's see who's joining me in this chat and what they got to say. Gabe Santana is the man, y'all. He's probably responsible for me cashing. He told me to get Clay in there. Putting in Charles Clay last week, I had to do some minor adjustments, and those minor adjustments turned out to be major contributions. I got Carson Wentz in there, did well for me. It was a good week. Richie Turner says, "Is your fantasy league a money league? And if it is, how much to get in next year?" It is it's not a money league, no. Well, if you mean auction league, it's not an auction league, but it's 50 to get in, and it's a 12-player league. And if you go look at my video from the other day, you'll see the draft. I did a live draft, so if you go through my videos and look at my draft, you'll see how it's run. But it's not an auction league at all. I don't know if that's what you meant by money league, but it's 50 to get in. I think first place gets 200, second place get 150. The season winner gets like 100, and then I think third place wins their money back or something of that nature. I mean, if you're really interested, I can give you the exact details and break it down for you. What player you think might get too much hype? Um, Initially it was that Cardinals backup guy. But now that they signed that other guy, David Johnson, I think the hype's toned down a little bit. So Tariq Cohen is getting a lot of hype. I won't call it too much hype. I just like his game, man. He could run. He could get he's a passing back. He can get the catches. He's gonna get a lot of touches. And for his price, I feel like he'll just get me what I need. So he's very hyped up as well. Gabe is right, but I like that hype. I like that hype. It's that Cardinals guy. I'm bad with these guys' name, and I could tell you their roles and whatnot. But I'm the Cardinals backup running back. Kerwin Williams is the guy that I think. But now that they signed David Johnson, I think that's gonna tone down a little bit. I'm in if you allow me. Hey, next year, Richie, come in, man. I know another listener of the show joined in, and he didn't do too well. Mo Moneyball or something like that. He didn't do too well last week, but he hit me up on the live. He gave me the 50. I got him right in. So if you want to come in and you tell me early enough, I'll let Big Bro know that you want to come in. That receiver from Detroit getting a lot of hype too. Let me see who you talking about. What receiver you talking about from Detroit? And we could chop it up about the slate, man. That's why I do these shows so people can give their anything on Detroit is good, man. Stafford is looking pretty good. He can't do any wrong either. I don't think Detroit's on this Dratkings slate. They might have like a Monday night game or something, but Stafford looked pretty good, man. I feel like for his price, especially, I feel like you can get if he was on the slate, I'd probably consider him. I think for his price, you'll get some good value out of him. So let's get into my money lineup. Right? Alex Smith, the reason I like him is because of what he showed in week 1. I'm not really one to chase, but Andy Reid could run an offense. He's offensive minded. Philly's supposed to be a decent defense, which will steer people away. So I feel like his ownership, I don't know. I feel like it'll be up because of week 1, but some people might be afraid of Philly defense, which I'm not. He's at home. I love quarterbacks at home. I feel like Alex Smith is going to look like that Atlanta quarterback looked last year. I feel like Alex Smith and Tyreek Hill is going to be the Julio Jones and the Julio Jones. And again, I'm bad with these guys' names, man. I'll be the first to admit it. Matt Ryan, the Julio Jones, Matt Ryan of last year is going to be Alex Smith and Kareem Hunt. I may be wrong, something that I'm just gutsy about. So I feel like Alex Smith will continue this week. And I'm doing a triple stack. Alex Smith, Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill. I feel like they're going to run over Philly. These NFC East teams, I mean, they suck. And they always full of promise. The Cowboys always full of promise. These NFC teams, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Redskins, they're always full of promise. And they end up being the worst division at the end of the season. It's like bottom feeders trying to see who's the best. They always Cowboys last year, not so much. Those rookies got a little bit of a jump, but coming from New York and as a Giants fan, I just pay a lot of attention to that conference, and I know how they do. They only beat each other. It's like who win the most out of that little division ends up ahead. And I feel like Cowboys got the edge, and everybody else in that division is just going to be about 8-8. 7 and 9 teams. Me personally, that's just my opinion. I feel like Alex Smith and the Chiefs are going to go down there and run Philly over this week. Just a gut feeling, and I'm putting big money on it. So that sums up Alex Smith, Kareem Hunt, and Tyreek Hill. The thing with Kareem Hunt is for him to go and drop almost 50 fantasy points in his first NFL game. He reminds me of the likes of David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell. Those are guys that come out and make that type of statement. And when you have a good running back, a good quarterback behind you, it opens up your run game. And when you have the talent that these guys have, it's just nothing but opportunity. And then to pair that up with, I just feel good about that trio. And if one have a subpar game, I feel like the other two are going to have super games. And it's just going to propel me into that money. So that's how I got that trio. Jay Ajayi, if you watch football last year, you saw this guy emerge as a sleeper into a superstar. They're well rested. They still haven't played a game. And they were able to scout the Chargers game because the Chargers just played. Plus, the Chargers are coming off of a short week. They just played Monday night. So I feel good about Ajayi. I like his game. I went with him. Michael Crabtree. I saw Derek Carr perform the way he did. Crabtree is the lead receiver. I feel good about him, man. And then Sanu. Last week I put Sanu in. He got me 10 points for $4,500. Anything in the double digits I'll take, but in a shootout against a poor backfield that Green Bay have, although I have a lot of faith in Julio Jones, I feel like the defense is going to make an extra effort to try to contain him because he's the best receiver on that team, and it's going to allow my Mohamed Sanu to catch rack. And I had him last week. I'm going to ride him again. And then Charles Clay for $3,000, just way too cheap. He's playing on a Buffalo team that as the number one option. It's him, the number one option. And he's a red zone target as well. I saw him drop a touchdown that turned into an interception this past week. If he didn't do that, he would have had 2 touchdowns. All right. The kid got us 15 points, and he's only $3,000. So his price is going to go up as the week go along, and just jump on that value now that you can. Ty Montgomery, he just played Seattle, which is a pretty good defense. All right, and he tore them apart. He can run, he can catch. He was a wide receiver, I believe, last year before they started having injury problems, and then they threw him in as a running back. He did okay. Now he's the starting running back and a wide receiver. Can't go wrong with that. 5,800, I think, is a good value. And then any team that play the Colts, I feel like I gotta have their defense. I feel like the Cardinals is a decent defense as well, and they're gonna get 20 fantasy points on this Indiana team. They don't have a quarterback. It's just a bad situation down there in Indiana. So that's my reasoning with my main lineup. That's my main go-to lineup, and that's the reasoning for it. Let's get back to the chat and see how you guys feel. Gabe Santana, let's get it. Let's get it. Is your fan? Oh, I think I went through all this already. Williams might share ball handling. Yeah, if you're talking about Kerwin Williams, Nikita, they just signed David Johnson. I think they already said that he's like the starter that's going to get the most touches. So Jameis will be a sleeper. He had 2 weeks off. Tampa Bay, I believe it. I was actually really thinking about this kid. What's his name? Did I get rid of him? I did. I did get rid of him, but someone that I was scratching my head about all week is ended up getting rid of him. I don't know why. Deshaun Jackson. So if you're big into Jameis and you really think Jameis is gonna have a big game, Tory, go and get yourself some Deshaun Jackson to pair with him, and I think that's a good stack. Evans, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Evans. Kenny Galladay, I'm not gonna chase that one. In one lineup, I got Breeze, McCarver, McKinnon, Crabtree, Cup, Richardson, Rudolph, Kurz, Vikings. I mean, I don't love it, but I think it could use some work. The Macabre kid, um, I'll be careful. It's a lot of committee play down there. Drew Brees, I wouldn't give up on. I love Cup, love Crabtree. McKinnon, be careful. Um, it's a lot of Vikings. Yeah, you're big on the Vikings. I mean, it looks all right. I like it. I like it. All right, so let's move on to my other two lineups that I got going on here now. So these two are pretty similar. If you look, like I said, I'm going to break this down into one. I'm really stuck into which one. Do I really want to go stars and scrubs 100%, or if I want to do it a little balanced? All right, so let's start with this one here because this is the one I'm leaning towards. Tyrod Taylor I like is because he's like emerging to be, and I might be jumping crazy when I say this, but I'm getting the sense that he's more like a Cam Newton was. I think he could develop into. He doesn't have Cam size, but his accuracy is improving. I saw a lot of improvement in his passes, and he's mobile. You know what I mean? He can spin out the pocket, so he can get you a running touchdown very easily if he's in the red zone. He can very easily get you a running touchdown, and then he got the big Charles Clay. So I like to have Tyrod Taylor and Charles Clay paired up. Tyrod Taylor and Charles Clay. I think that's a good pair. Um, and then Buck Allen. Um, that's all Gabe Santana. Me and him been talking a lot, and he really likes him. So I say, I'll show Gabe some love, and I'll pick his one of his biggest favorite players because he helped me last week, and his advice is always welcome. It's always good stuff. So Gabe Santana is definitely giving me some good input. So Buck Allen is, and then I did my own research. I looked up into what's going on there. They just lost a running back down there, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of opportunities, a lot of touches for him. So Tariq Cohen, we all know what he did. Like I said, I just made a case for him. I don't want to dwell on that too much. Keenan Allen didn't have a good game this last week because he went against Denver. And he did have a decent game. I think he was double digits, 14.5 points. And he struggled for that. You understand? 14.5 points against Denver, and it didn't even look pretty. I think he's going to make it look really pretty this weekend, man. Keenan Allen is someone that I really think is going to make it look pretty. And like I said, I'm leaning towards this lineup here. Brandon Cooks, it's a revenge factor. All right, he's going against his old team. Amendola is injured in New England. They just lost. Brady's pissed off. He's going to air it out like crazy. And Cooks is probably just argumentatively one of the best talents they got as receivers. And I feel like he's going to show out. It's his old team. He knows their weakness. He's played with them. And he's going to help New England beat them. All right. And love Cooks. Love Cooks again. I think he's going to be a good play. Julio Jones. There's no contain. Green Bay doesn't have the right tools to hold him. And then Charles Clay and Tyrod Taylor, I made a case for. Kareem Hunt, I already made a case for in my other lineup. Raiders defense is the only part of this lineup that's still tentative for me. The reason I went with them is because they're playing the Jets. The Jets sucks. The Jets have nothing right now. The Jets are like the Nets of basketball last year. They have nothing. All right, they don't have a quarterback or a running back for all that. They don't have any defense. They just suck. And I feel like Oakland can handle that. All right? Oakland is gonna have a big game too, man. If you all about it, you get your hand on some Derek Carr, pair him up with some Cooper or something, and you should have a good week. You see, I already got some Crabtree involved, so love these lineups, man. I don't see any weakness in any of my lineups that I have here so far. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think, though. I think Golden Tate is dealing with an injury, if I'm not mistaken. I got McKinnon with Vikes defense because he's itching for a kick return. Danny Woodhead out 4 to 6 weeks. Exactly. Exactly. So Buck Allen. That's why I really like some Buck Allen. Woodhead's out. And I feel like, the kid is he's got when you're playing when you have talent and you're playing for so much, you have no choice but to show out. Okay, you're the second string running back. You got the opportunity that's needed. Even if the guy gets back in 6 weeks or whatever, if you for those 6 weeks can carry a team, we've seen um what happened down in Dallas with these young running backs when they get it going. We've seen and it'll just the guy. This is it's a golden opportunity with a very talented guy in Javarius Allen, and I feel like he can do it. Now to go to this team, I'm not gonna talk about players. I'm gonna talk about Todd Gurley. This is why I'm kind of more into this team here than this one. Like I said, this is gonna turn into one lineup. I'm only playing two lineups, but these two I'm still doing some work on them. All right. Gurley, like his name says, sometimes he gets a little bit girly, And for 7K, I'm on the fence about it. I feel like, he just gave me 20 fantasy points last week. That's not bad. And he didn't have a great week. So I'm impressed with that. I'm thinking about it. So to have him, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, I love this Cup kid. And then I still could have Tyrod Taylor with Charles Clay. I don't mess with the Seahawks, but I'm considering it, whatever. I might keep both of these lineups. I might just put another couple dollars in and keep both of these lineups. I like them both. I'm really having a hard time. This one is full stars and scrub. This one is fully balanced. And then this one is also a little stars and scrubbish. But I like all three. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Giving you guys some free content with some analysis, man, and just getting some feedback. So that's that. I'm just gonna look at some commentary and I'm out of here. LMAO, I am dying. Girly sometimes get girly. Yeah, he can get a little soft sometimes, but I'm gonna give him a shot, man. I'm gonna give him a shot this week, see what he can return for me. And that's about it, guys. You got access to what I'm playing this week. Hopefully you all in the room could play it and we all share that top money, man. We break down these ranks and do something big. All right. I'm getting out of here, man. Peace.